So let me start this video off by saying that Pax South 2020 was incredible. It's basically an indie game convention, considering I didn't even see one major developer there. And if you guys know anything about me or my channel, you know this was right on my alley. So here's a small list of games that caught my eye when I was at PAX that I will definitely be checking out when they are released. So the first game I actually want to talk about is AOS Tournament. It's a 8-player party game, and I don't think I really have to say anything more. Essentially, everyone picks up an animal. You know, you play a new character, you can change up your colors and all that cool stuff. And each character takes control of like this little vacuum device, and you either blow air out of it or you suck things up. And this can be used into so many different variations. Sometimes the mini games are split up into teams where you're tossing around a soccer ball with a vacuum and you're blowing it into each other's goals, or other times it's like a free-for-all snowball fight where it's such a simple concept but creative enough to have a variety of potential mini games that could definitely be fun with a group of friends. This is definitely a game that I'm going to be checking out. I did get a beta key of it, so you guys know we may be playing this on the channel sometime. The second game is Streets of Rage 4, and man, I this is basically the game I came to PAX for, to be honest, to be completely honest with you. I've literally been waiting for this game my entire life to come out, since it was one of the first video games I ever beat as a kid. It's everything I wanted in a Streets of Rage game. The visuals are stunning, hand-drawn, they're colorful. They added a new combo system that actually tracks how many hits you put into the enemy before dropping the hit stun. So you can do these crazy team combos with whoever you're playing with co-op, or even just yourself if you really know what you're doing. They removed actually that stupid-ass friendly fire mechanic that's been in the past 3 Streets of Rage games, so you don't have to worry about like hitting your friends or whatever. You know, you can just play the game. And I'm sure they probably have something where there's like you can throw your friend to like throw it into an enemy to do a combo or something. So I'm sure there's something really cool to that. And the music, of course, y'all already know Yuzo Koshiro is killing it in the studio, and the music sounded excellent. There was really no complaints I had about the game. It was a little difficult, if anything, which I personally don't see it as a bad thing. I got nothing more to say about this game. This is a day one buy for me, an absolute day one buy. I absolutely loved it, and I can't wait to get my hands on this for sure. So the third game was actually kind of strange because I didn't really see this game coming. It was something I really didn't expect to find at PAX. It's called Otto and the Ancient Worlds, and this was a 2D platform I got to play a little while that was like clearly heavily influenced by the Shovel Knight graphic style. The sprites have a lot of personality, you know what I mean? You'll see characters like moving, they'll have specific standing animations and everything. It looked really good. The main character, Otto, who I actually found pretty charming, uses a whip and has a bit of a start animation when he attacks, so it kind of gives you that really good feeling of like an old Castlevania style of gameplay. Some people like that, some people don't. I personally don't really mind. It felt clean though. The game felt clean. It wasn't really pushing too many limits to do anything over the top, but at the same time it was keeping itself interesting and challenging enough that it kept my attention, where you know you can kind of jump off walls. The platforming was like decently challenging, and I actually had a really good time with it. So I'll definitely be checking this out when it finally releases. A side note, something that was really cool about the main character is that he wasn't this like, he's not this edgy dashing character, long anime hair, and he's wearing all black, and he has a whip or something. I don't know. He's kind of like, he looks like he's just like a middle-aged man, and he has like a beard, and he just looks like a real man. Like I really like the way he looked as a character. It was very creative, so I'll definitely be checking this out when it comes out. Next game I actually want to talk about is Windjammers 2. So you know what happens when you take Pong, Frisbee, and you combine it with some over-the-top action and, you know, moves to score points, you'll be getting Windjammers 2. And man, I actually I don't know a lot of people who are really familiar with this series, but I got the first game a couple years back. I picked it up on the Nintendo Switch, and I'm a huge fan of Windjammers. This is a super cool series. I'm really excited to play the second one. There's a ton of quality of life improvements from the first one. The updated visuals, they have some really good animations with the characters, and even a new moves, like that you have a super meter now, and you can actually jump all over the place. That's like a specific move you can do, which I found really cool because you could only dash in the first game. This was not previously featured, of course, on the other titles, but you can get the first Windjammers game on the Nintendo Switch, and there's just so much about it. They kept old characters from the first game. The voice acting of like the host and everything kind of sounds similar, but of course it's a little more in HD. The audio is a little bit better quality instead of like kind of you know, like an old 16-bit like sound or whatever. But man, I definitely recommend Windjammers. It's a cool pick up and play game. You can put it down anytime you want. It's something really fun to play with friends. It's competitive. You can play it casually. I'm a huge fan of Windjammers, so it might be a biased opinion, but I would say like 100% pick this game up if you're really into like the pong frisbee kind of style of almost like a competitive sports game, but it's over the top with like animations and such. Definitely check this out. Definitely. Swap Bet was the next game I wanted to talk to you about, and it might come to a bit of a shock, but I'm a huge fan of puzzle versus games, and let me tell you, Swap Bet was pretty addictive. You know, I went over to their booth and played like 1 or 2 games. I walked away. I came back. I did the same thing. I left. I came back. And next thing I knew, I was like 10 games deep into this, and it only had been like an hour. And I can't really even compare it to other games like Puyo Puyo or Tetris. There's a different way of how the blocks and the animations are with how you're kind of combining the blocks to get points, to accumulate points. So it's not really like Crystal Crisis or Puzzle Fighter, but it is at the same time. It's really a hard game to describe. It's a bunch of cute anime girls with unique abilities, and they're trying to screw each other over with different abilities that they have, and they're trying to, you know, they have different things that can mess up the other puzzle board for the other player. It's up to 4 players, and let me tell you, it's one of the more unique puzzle games I've played because of how you actually create the puzzle pieces to get points. So rather than having the pieces fall from the top of the screen, actually the game has a slow moving row of blocks that move up from the bottom of the screen. You have to swap, hence the name Swap Bet. You have to like swap the blocks in order to match 3 blocks or more. So of course they have the same combo system like they do in most puzzle games, but I can definitely see the challenging potential that the game is going to be offering, you know, with how you're moving the blocks and everything. It's definitely going to be an audience for both the casual and the competitive play for puzzle lovers out there. So I did talk to the devs, and they are trying to put out a Nintendo Switch release in the future. So I think it would definitely, as I mentioned before, definitely be a good pick up and play, put down, rinse and repeat. It would be great on the go. I would love to see this on the Nintendo Switch, and I only wish these devs the best of success. These guys are really cool. Definitely check out Swap Bet, guys, for sure. So last game I actually want to talk about is Loom and the Shifting Void. Now I think I'm pronouncing that right. I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Loom, but now that I've actually seen the game, I actually saw this prior to Pax South, and man, considering I'm already a big fan of the indie platformer genre, I definitely was excited to get my hands on it at the convention. It was really awesome. The devs were really cool. I got to actually have a great conversation with them about as many details as they could give me about the game. And I can't tell you exactly what the story is about, but I can say visually the game is clean. It's got beautiful sprites. It's simplistic enough gameplay to pick up quickly. I did notice there were a couple of cool differences from other platforms that I have played in the past, such as like when the character attacks, there's a really cool animation that the main character uses her left and right hand to kind of do like a 1-2 punch instead of just one single animation attack from the same hand over and over. And like sometimes that can kind of kill the immersive feeling when you're playing as the character. I know it's maybe a little silly and maybe a very small detail, but it's something that was small enough that I noticed and I'm able to point out that I thought was really impressive. So far they only had the 1 level you could try out, and I could definitely tell, aside from this grassy like jungle like area, there's going to be quite a universe to unfold here, and I definitely cannot wait until the testing is finished and we can get our hands on a full build. Definitely look up Loom and the Shifting Void. I believe they actually do have a demo on their official site, and you can just try it out for free. It's really cool. They actually also had 2 other games that I didn't mention here in the video, but it's a great company. I really enjoyed Loom, and it's actually challenging. This is a very challenging game. I died a few times on the demo when I was getting my ass kicked, so it's pretty cool to see that they have such a challenging game. They didn't really want to categorize their game as one genre either, so they're kind of still looking of where they want to kind of throw their game's genre at. So it's pretty cool. Definitely check it out, guys, for sure. Alright guys, and that wraps it up. Thank you so much for watching the video. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the bottom, man. Red eye kick that like button, you already know. And as always, stay beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you guys on the next video. I really appreciate you guys watching. PAX 2020 was dope. Definitely recommend it if you're a gamer, a streamer, content creator, whatever you are. If you're into this genre, this field of gaming and fantasy, tabletop, all that stuff, PAX is definitely an event for you. Definitely check it out. I'm out of here, guys. Peace out.